I wish I could have explored that more. Well, in Spotlight, you're going to get the chance to do so with a 4-episode first season beginning August 1st every Wednesday. And you can listen to it wherever podcasts are sold. Wherever you get your podcasts, subscribe right now. And you can do that because this episode is going to be our trailer. So search up the keyword Spotlight and then add Spencer Walsh Radio Network and subscribe right now. Get ready for August 1st because it's coming. All right, thank you for listening to my message there, and very important. And also, by the way, thank you so much for listening today. All right, so yeah, we have now another new horrific story. Under the Trump administration, pregnant women are being apprehended, detained by the Customs and Border Patrol and ICE. They're being shackled around their stomachs, hands, and legs, and denied routine medical care, even during miscarriages, according to BuzzFeed News. While pregnant women were held in immigration detention centers under the Obama administration, a 2014 memo made clear that pregnant or nursing women were not to be detained, absent extraordinary circumstances or as required by law. So it was like an MS-13 mastermind who happened to be carrying a child. I mean, you can detain them. That's kind of like an extraordinary circumstance. But under those circumstances, no pregnant women be shackled by ICE. Pregnant or nursing women not to be detained. I mean, I really think people underestimate how bad Obama was on abortion, but immigration. But boy, he was bad. People do tend to forget that. So yeah, all of that has changed now during the Trump administration. Advocates told BuzzFeed News that the treatment of pregnant women were substantially different from when before Trump took office, noting that they were often released before other detainees, but many noticed an uptick in the number of pregnant detainees last summer, and ICE's revised, harsher stance was codified in a policy directive released December 2017. Right, here are some of the stories told to BuzzFeed. You can check out the full BuzzFeed article. E is an asylum seeker from El Salvador who was detained in Arizona while 4 months pregnant. She recounted the response of ICE officials during her miscarriage. An official arrived and told me that it was not a hospital and they were not doctors. It wouldn't look after me, and I realized I was losing my son. It was his life that was bleeding out. I was staining everything. I spent 8 days just lying down. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. I just started crying. It's a very sad story. I mean, it's just pretty much at the pit of, really, I mean, I don't know, like, there's so much about that I cannot relate to, because first of all, I don't carry babies, but I think it's just unimaginable, how awful, really, that must have been, in this entire situation, but it's really kind of, incomprehensible, just to say the least, but, yeah, it's quite incredible. She was forced to wait 2 weeks to see a medical professional. 2 weeks? Like, prison people, like people, like serial killers get medical treatment. Like, what is this? Yeah, so she was forced to wait almost 2 weeks to see a medical professional. Other women stated that they were given substandard medical care during their pregnancies when they received medical care at all. It was substandard. Rubia Mabel Morales Alfaro, another asylum seeker from El Salvador, was detained for 3 months. She too had a miscarriage while in detention. It's important that you know the trauma they inflict on you, she said to BuzzFeed, of her time in both CPB, Customs and Border Patrol, and ICE custody. It's not a place for anybody, much less pregnant women. It's something too traumatic. It's a punishment that I will never forget. As of April 7th this year, 35 pregnant detainees were in the agency's custody. Who knows how many it is now, and also, like, wow. Anyway, so the Deputy District Attorney for San Bernardino County's District Attorney's Office is extremely racist. Deputy District Attorney for San Bernardino County's district attorney office is extremely racist. So Deputy Attorney General Michael Salem has quite a record of Deputy DA Michael Salem has had really quite a record of social media posts, including a particularly nauseating comment he made about Congressman Maxine Waters of California. In June, Salem replied to a Facebook post about Waters' calls for the public to challenge Trump administration officials not call for violence. And I mean, this is so uncivil, right? Like, you get the idea. Like, where did Democrats pick up this whole incivility idea from? Because, like, no one has ever really been uncivil before, right? It's not a reality. It's just an unfactual statement to say that anybody possibly ever has been civil. It just does not make any sense. But still, in June, Salem, nevertheless, surprisingly, replied to this Facebook post saying, calling her a loudmouth in the ghetto, and he went to write on, you would think that someone would have shot this B-word, B-I-T-C-H, by now. So, yeah, she's a loudmouth, bleep, C-U-N-T in the ghetto, and she should have been shot. I'll just say it, that bitch should have been shot by now. Yeah, so it's just another example of the right cherished tradition of being overtly racist towards Maxine Waters. When Trump isn't claiming she has a low IQ, talking heads are mocking her hair, i.e. Bill O'Reilly, and Good sending her racist voicemails threatening to kill her. But sure, let's pretend Rand Paul is the face of harassment against members of Congress. But wait, there's truly more vile BS from Salem for Newsweek. Salem has taken aim at former First Lady Michelle Obama, the victim of a police shooting, and Mexican immigrants in other social media posts. That shitbag got what he deserved. Salem said, a part of an online argument over the police shooting of a civilian. You reap what you sow. And by the way, go fuck yourself, you liberal bleep bag, shitbag, whatever. I already said that. So, Mexican immigrants. Salem posted a photo of a man in a sombrero with the caption, Mexican word of the day, hide. He shared a mutilated photo of Michelle Obama holding up a sign that said, Trump grabbed my penis, pretty much saying that Trump is a man. Michelle Obama's a man. It's pretty much a kind of a racist trope. The extreme right wing, like Alex Jones type people, have been saying of Michelle Obama for quite a long time. But beneath the Facebook post offering free tickets to Trump's presidential inauguration, Salem wrote, I love that all you liberal effing P's, P-U-S-S-Y, are so filled with hate. You're going to be long. 8 years for you scumbags. Choo-choo Trump. Yeah. Beneath the Breitbart News post about the Budweiser Super Bowl ad that celebrated the immigrant success story for a beer empire's founder, Salem wrote that I am all for white males immigrating here legally and starting business. It is the terrorist a-holes sneaking here wanting to kill me and my family that I am opposed to. I cannot believe how shallow Democrats are. They must really think that people are stupid. I guess that's evident because they actually thought Hillary Clinton could win a presidential election twice. LMFAO. So funny, I can't even believe it. That is incredible. Yeah, and has he been fired? There is an update at this story, so maybe he could have been fired. We will hope, but we'll see. Something tells me no, because we're living in 2018. Like, we got to wake up here. District Attorney-elect Jason Anderson calls Salem's social media post a little bit salty. Even though there has been a hashtag Fire Salem gaining traction on social media, still we're not getting any kind of momentum behind that. And by the way, talk about filled with hate. How about Michael Salem? That's a pretty good representation there of someone who's filled with hate. Stephen Levine, the San Bernardino attorney who acts as Salem's counterpart in court on a regular basis, doesn't even see much of a problem. I don't defend the tenor of his post, but defend the right to his beliefs. It's no problem. He says, I don't defend the tenor of his post, and I've seen no evidence that his personal beliefs have influenced the professional responsibility and prefer to give the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so it's just cool to have a blatant racist, sexist in Congress. Like, Okay, whatever you think. Whatever you think about that. In this very moment, San Bernardino County should be reviewing Salem's conviction track record very quickly for potential bias, and then fire him immediately. Anyway, finally, we're just going to do very quick stories. The Republican Party has been acting on behalf of business interests lately, and it wants to smash the institution for organized labor in America. And because doing so will allow the rich people to make more money, we're living in dark times for unions. A brief survey of these threats. Supreme Court Janus ruling last month will suck a substantial number of members and revenue out of public unions, which was a major blow. The bigger story, though, of Janus was that the centerpiece of a larger campaign and the very existence of unions has been going. Is the centerpiece of a larger campaign against the very existence of unions that have been going on for decades. And under the Trump administration, every possible path is being considered that can cut union membership, drain of union funds, and undercut union power, so that working people are less able to assert themselves as equals with the companies that employ them. While Janus will allow public union members to decide not to pay their fair share of fees for the services that the union has provided them, there is now an effort to push the ruling even further. Some hands-like teachers are suing to be refunded for fees that they had already paid their union in the past. So they just want to be refunded for the fees they paid their union, which is like absurd. So pretty much unions are screwed. That's all you need to know. If you want to do more research, listen to our shows in the future, because we are definitely going to cover this in the future. But Janus is one of the major problems. I do want to just quickly go here. The ultimate blow against an existing union is decertification, which union members themselves vote to quit having a union. This phenomenon is rare, but for the obvious reason that a functional union brings workers higher pay and better working conditions, but that is more likely under the non-Janus market. Pressure from the president is also quite strong. The Heritage Foundation, every single Republican on the book is putting their full pressure on this. It's not going to be a lot of coverage in the news, but it's a major issue for the president in this upcoming time period. So, yeah. Finally, also, we have the government missing a deadline to reunite kids with their families, but they have gotten an extension, so we kind of just got to sit back and wait on this one. On Monday, the administration completely blew its deadline on reuniting their parents with toddlers that the government unnecessarily ripped away from them at the border. Luckily, a federal judge who gave the order has given them an extension. The ACLU said that Trump administration was on track to reunite less than half of the 102 migrant kids with their under 5 with their parents as tender-age kids. The claim is pretty close to the mark, according to NBC News. Justice Department Attorney Sarah Fabian reportedly told Sabra, who is the Dan Sabra, I speak of, who's the U.S. District Court Judge for the Southern District of California, who gave the order originally, that the claim that the government has expected to reunite just 54 of the 102 parents by tomorrow, so a little bit more than half. You may remember Fabian from last week, where she argued that you couldn't give an update on reunification efforts because she was dog sitting. If you saw the story in the news, she was like, "Yeah, I can't tell you how we're going to reunite toddlers with their parents. I got the dog sitting responsibilities. Very busy. I got a jet." The point is pretty much that the Trump administration does not care a lick for these kids. They made it very clear, and they don't seem to be putting the full court press to, as really any other administration would, except for maybe like George Bush or something, to reunite these kids together. Finally, a good Stephen Miller story for you. Nothing warms a calcified heart like stories of Trump administration officials getting publicly shamed for their awful behavior. All right, so yeah, one night after Stephen Miller ordered in $80 of takeout sushi from a restaurant near his apartment, the bartender followed him into the suite and shouted, "Stephen!" When Miller turned around, the bartender raised both middle fingers and cursed at him, according to an account Miller has shared with White House colleagues. Outraged, Miller later threw the sushi away. He later told his colleagues. So yeah, he trashes overpriced raw fish to own the libs. That's amazing. You could have eaten the sushi. Like, I don't get it. Like, he still sold you the sushi, so that kind of makes him the sucker. But whatever. Steve Miller getting screwed, I can take that any day. That's our show. We will see you later in the week.